Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to do a short video on 5 tips to help you become a better artist. So we're focusing specifically on visual arts today. It doesn't have to be just drawing. You can apply these tips to any kind of art making. I will be using drawing as the example today, just because that's usually where I start with my students. So let's get right into it. If you like these videos, don't forget to subscribe. I do my very best to post something new every weekend so that you have something to look forward to. So number 1, we're going to go ahead and say, draw. I know it seems super simple, but just like when you're learning any kind of new skill or trying to make something better, well, really the only way to do that is to do that thing. So if we're trying to learn to draw better, my advice would be to draw. And what I mean by that is to draw everywhere. Draw all the time. And to draw everything. Okay? So draw, draw, draw. Okay, so that being said, let's move on to number 2. We'll put number 2 over here. Number 2 is going to be draw lightly first. Draw lightly first. Okay? So what that means, when you're drawing things, you should be starting out lightly as you draw things, making sure you're not going too dark. Okay? We should always start out doing that first. That way, just in case we make lines that we don't want, as you can see, I'm trying to draw a circle here. As you draw lines that you don't want, you could always erase those lines that you don't want. Okay? Without it being too much of a mess. Okay? What this does, not saying that there's any right or wrong way, maybe you like to see those eraser marks. But building confidence is very important to me. So if you draw lightly first and you don't exactly get your cat, a cat is something one of my students asked to draw this week. If you don't get your cat absolutely right, like let's say you're drawing your cat and you've got your pointy ears and you're like, oh no, that's a pig nose, that's not a cat nose, and you go to erase it, guess what? Pig nose is still there. Your cat's always going to have a pig nose, right? If that's not what you want, then you need to draw it lightly. So I'm going to draw a pig nose again on this cat and say, oh no, I drew a pig nose. Wait, let me erase that. Ding. That's the power of drawing lightly. Now this is a skill. When we're learning to write our name, we learn to write darkly. We learn to write with more pressure. We write boldly, but we need to draw lightly. So let's draw light. It's a bitter kitty nose. And then we'll draw some kitty eyes here. Ooh, that looks like an angry kitty. I don't like that, so I'm going to erase it. Let's make it a happy kitty. So a happy kitty. There. Now that I've got everything where I want it, I can go back over with nice dark lines and make that kitty exactly the way I intended it to be the first time. See? Drawing lightly is a very powerful thing and can really help improve our drawings. So let's go on to number 3. So we've talked about drawing everywhere, drawing everything, drawing all the time, and drawing lightly. But one thing that's going to help this is to carry a pocket sketchbook. A pocket sketchbook. Many of y'all may be still in school. You may be in an office working. You may have a long commute on the subway. You may have lots of different things that's going on. So one of the main things you want to worry about is having easily accessible materials, things that you can just pull out really easy. Any hurdles that you can overcome to build this habit is the best thing. So I found these little guys on sale for $1 a piece at Michael's a long time ago. I think they came in a pack of 5, actually, 3 to 5. So I've had them for a while because, well, I think the green one is the one I'm carrying, but this was me just trying to mix some paint or see what color paint it was. There's just some things in here that's literally just a square, something I started. It's my daughter sitting in a chair watching TV. That was looking outside our window in our apartment. So,
I was sitting on that chair.
You were sitting on that chair. Yeah, see? Want to look at it? Here. So just being able to just whip these bad boys out real fast and just kind of throwing some stuff down, some colored pencils, some more colored pencils. It just makes it very convenient and easier to do. So this was actually a book that I'm writing. So I'm writing all of the pages that I want to illustrate for that book. And actually you see a lot of words in here. And that's actually number 4. So bringing it back to number 4, if you don't exactly know what to draw, you could always write yourself some ideas or some prompts. So this actually shows back during my first Inktober. I'm not sure if you've heard of Inktober, but Inktober, every October, they send out this new list of prompts for every day. For instance, this one was fish. So I drew my fish that day. The next one was wisp. So you have to interpret the word, and I thought of wispy hair. So I drew hair. So in Inktober, you have to get these words bulky, and you have to come up with the picture for that. So it's an interesting exercise because not only does it teach you habits or grow your habits, but it helps your creativity. So your job is to think of the word and what pictures that word sparks and write or draw those. So it's a little bit of a more creative exercise than just drawing what you see. I could draw this hair tie if I wanted to, but if that gets a little boring and you just don't want to draw random stuff, write yourself some prompts. Get out your little sketchbook and on one day write cloud, the next day write lightning, and plan that out. You can plan the entire sketchbook out before you even start if you wanted to. That was tip number 4. Lastly, tip number 5. So say you forget your sketchbook. Doodle. So isn't doodle just drawing? Well, not necessarily. So let me give you a little bit of a difference between what doodling is versus drawing. So drawing is when you're really focused on a very specific thing. You're focused on the shape. You're focused on the form of exactly what you're trying to make here. And quite honestly, because you're focusing on making sure that looks exactly how it's supposed to look, you're really not focusing on anything else. So doodling can actually be a tool to assist you in focusing in class. Say you have an issue like ADHD, ADD, or if you're just like me and love to be outside and would rather stare out the window than listen to your teacher speak or a lecture or watching something. Doodling can actually calm your mind. So doodling is just the process of occupying your mind. You're not doing anything specific. You have no plan ahead. You are just occupying that part of your mind that wants to play so that it's free to focus on other things. So doodling is just that absent action of working while somebody else is talking or while you're doing something else. There are studies, I do not have them posted here, but there are studies that have shown that doodling can actually help you focus on a lecture. But like I said, it's not the same as drawing. It's not really anything to focus on. It's just getting your wiggles out. I guess you could say that. It's not even really being creative. It's not solving any kind of problem. Again, it's just occupying your mind and your hands. It's kind of, yeah, you guys have fidget spinners, you have poppets, you have, fidget cubes, you have all kinds of things to occupy your hands. And doodling serves the same purpose. And actually might be a little less distracting for you. When I say, how does this help you be a better artist? So doodling, yeah, it can help you focus, but it also just keeps your brain and your hand engaged. So the more you put that pencil to the paper, whether you're doodling or actually drawing, you're building that relationship between your brain and your hand is getting the feel of the paper, okay? So that in itself helps you draw lightly. It helps you be able to make better shapes, because a lot of times doodling is lines and shapes, Sometimes we shade while we doodle. Doodling really should have no end. It should just go and go and go. The only end to doodling should be the fact that your paper is just completely full and you need to get another piece of paper. Okay? So some people, they honestly just may have a doodle journal where they just write down words. Look at this. I'm going to start doodling with this because it's here. I'm just so used to messing around. All right, so anyway, those are my top 5 tips. Draw everywhere, all the time, anything. Draw lightly first. Get yourself a nice pocket sketchbook, maybe one with prompts, maybe one for no prompts, maybe one for doodling. And lastly, doodle. Doodle when there's nothing else to do. All right, well, that is our video for today. I could go on and on about these things, but I think these are 5 very important things that you can do today to improve your artistic ability and your creativity and your drawing skills. So again, if you liked this video, you want to see more, definitely subscribe below. And if you would like to share comments about other videos that you would like to see or questions that you may have, I'll be very happy to look into those for you or to share any expertise or experience that I may have. I look forward to seeing you guys in class next weekend, and have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.